I have aims and ambitions. You've got to aim high, you know, if you aim for the stars, you can settle for less, can't you? But you have to have something to drive you. That's my philosophy.
All of a sudden, out the corner of my eye, I see this old bugger going by. It's just amazing. He's got a racing brain.
I always used to think going out training with Colin was harder than the actual races. I really did.
I think it's amazing that Colin can still ride the way he does.
Colin would always come across as being a very hard man on the bike, but he would do anything to help anyone.
I have vivid recollections of my mum and myself hiding in the cupboard under the stairs when the rent man came and things like that. So there was no money in our household for me to afford a bike. We'd befriend another family locally, and the guy, he knew that I was a bit keen on cycling, and he actually gave me a Dawes Galaxy, which was wonderful. I disobeyed my dad, so he dragged me down the stairs into the cellar where my priceless possession was, this Dawes Galaxy bike, and the previous day he'd been chopping logs, and he then picked up this £7 axe and put this axe through the top and down tube of the bike. Not having a bike, and the bike was banned anyway, I decided to run away. My mum kept on to me, when are you going to come home? And I didn't really want to go home. Back in Tor Bay, the adolescent thing came in.
The reason I took up cycling basically was due to a bet. I was at the somewhat tender age of 19. I come home one Saturday night violently drunk, woke up the following morning with a humdinger of a hangover, and a friend of mine who was with me the night before came round. He said, we're both smoking 25, 30 cigarettes a day. He said, we're both consuming 7 or 8 pints of beer every night. He said, why don't we take up a sport? He said, do something useful. So I said, well, I don't really know, I've never thought about it. So he said, look, I'm going to play football. He said, I don't know what you're going to do. He said, why don't you take up football? I said, I'm no good at football. He said, well, you ride a bike to work, why don't you take up cycling?
I said, I'll tell you what I'll do then. I said, I'll go to the Olympic Games in 4 years. He said, you're crazy. I said, no, I'll give it a shot. So he said, I'll bet you £10 then. So we shook hands on £10. All of a sudden, 4 years had flown by, and I'd made a big high in my life by attaining something I'd only dreamt of, or got drunk and thought about,
24-year-old Colin Lewis of Torquay, a man who's already achieved headline success in 2 previous World Championships, the Tour de l'Avenir and, above all, the Tokyo Olympics of 1964. A man who's been hailed by some of the great continental experts as the new Tommy Simpson.
I'm in a very good amateur professional team. I've had several offers to turn professional, but there's a lot of sort of dirty work goes on the continent. The doping is very rife at the present time out there. Whether or not it'll clear up, it's impossible to turn professional unless you do take dope or various stimulants, and for my money it just isn't worth it.
I've been into a dressing room before a pro race, and one of my teammates, he had a toe strap around his arm. He was putting a syringe into one of his veins, and I was just astounded.
Well, we have quite a useful cyclist who's very popular in the West Country. One of your great rivals, if not greatest rival, Colin Lewis from Torquay.
Yes, Colin, hello there, Colin. Are you watching this? Yes, Colin, I have a great respect for Colin. He's one of the top professionals in the country, obviously. He has been the top professional over the last few years. There's always a bit of aggro on the bike, but we're really good mates off the bike.
We rode together in the Holsworth Campagnola team. Colin took me under his wing. I did learn an awful lot from him. At the time there was a big race for us to do well in. It was called the Tour of the West. It was a 5-day race.
During the race we have a sort of variety of food. Like today, the main staple thing is chicken, which we take a leg of chicken in our jersey, then we get handed up a feed, which usually consists of muesli.
Well, Colin, you just come in after a 110-mile stage. How do you feel?
Not too tired. It hasn't been a very exhausting day. It's been cat and mouse day today. I've had my teammate away, the race leader Gary Crew, who we believe has won it overall.
thing in the back of my mind all these years. I don't ride with him that often, but I know that if we ever going to meet up and go for a ride, I'm going to have to be in half decent shape. So that's kept me motivated. I think his father disapproved of him cycling. I think he thought, well, he should get a proper job. The fact that he was off representing the country didn't really impress Colin's father at all, which was sad.
He'd never, ever, ever been out to see me race. I wanted someone to be proud of me, and my mum was proud of me. But he never ever showed it. And I think that made me that little bit more determined, because I didn't have an easy childhood. But I blame that on the war, and obviously it had a profound effect, and they didn't know then what they know now, do they, about trauma from battles.
Haytor was a bit of a brute today, on account of the fact it's a headwind all out there. And I don't deserve that, after where we've been today, so no. Whoever it was up there, I'd give him a bit of this, didn't I? But he didn't take any notice of me.
I live right out in the moor, at the top of a 3-mile climb. There is times in the winter when I've been out on really long rides. I've completely run out of energy, and I just have to suffer really badly up the last hill. He's usually at all the races. He always comes up to me and says, when are you going to attack, or something like that.
It's exciting when you've got guys in there from your regime or whatever competing. It's, yeah, you think that there's a bit of a legacy you leave behind, isn't there? Not that I'm going anywhere just yet.
I was able to type from an early age on. It comes fairly easy. What's happening here? And you see this here. Shut up, go away. I just get a bit frustrated and shouted it. Yeah, in a loud voice. Swear at it in different ways. I used to go to art school, and she wanted me to do all these funny things with images. But I prefer to do things like that, because that's as it should be. And that one I did yesterday. That's the Tour de France. We tried to portray the peloton going by at high speed. So yeah, do a lot of painting. When I get the time, it's all down to time, isn't it, basically?
Well, I met Colin back in the early 90s. I wandered into his shop. Colin offered me a job there and then. Mechanic, salesman, everything you can think of in a bicycle shop, really. Colin was coming to the retirement age, wanted to sell it on to me, and that's how we worked it out. You'll never take the competitiveness out of Colin. I've been with him, and you can tell it's getting a little bit faster, and he's just trying to get to the top of the hill first.
Colin will come up beside you, and his contact, he'll lean on you. He'll grab your shirt and he'll pull you back, or he'll push you forward. It can be a bit unnerving. He forgets he's on a bike doing 20 or 25 miles an hour. I'm a bad influence on him. I try and make him stop for cafe stops and things like that. I've tried to instill this as a good thing to Colin at his time of life.
Right, shall we go here, Simon?
Yeah.
Right, let's go, and you go first. See the way we did that? Pull your shoulders back. You see over there, that's my potato crop. They're looking good, aren't they? Because the price of potatoes at the moment is ridiculous. It's gone to the earth. My good lady Pam died of pancreatic cancer. I decided at the funeral to give everyone a small packet of wildflower seeds of wildflowers. When I came home, I spread this with wildflower seeds, and I've left it, so it's been like this for its 3rd year now. And every year all these flowers come back up. I can come out and have a chat to the lady some nights. So it's quiet and very reflective here. She's looking down and she's thinking, he's not making a bad job, is he? My ambition, and I'm going to achieve it this year, is to make a Victoria sponge. I really, really do enjoy cooking. It's a treat to do it, because it's something creative, isn't it?
I realised that I do have the ability to push myself harder than some people. A lot of people give up. I might hurt, it might show, but no, I don't give up. You get memories flooding back, you know, you really, really do. You know, I can remember that day as if it was yesterday, you know, all lined up in Cologne in West Germany, awaiting the start, and I was terrified. You know, I was 22 years of age, I've been a professional for just 3 months, and now all of a sudden I'm pitched into the biggest event in the world. I was a domestique, a team helper for Tom Simpson, so whatever he wanted me to do, I would have to do. The domestiques would go into a lowly cafe or a Le Routier restaurant. We just grab anything we could from the top of the fridge or whatever and stuff it in our pockets or down our neck and rush back to the peloton. And that particular day, I had 5 bottles concealed about my parts, and I got back to the peloton and went looking for Tom. He said, "What you got?" And I fished out this bottle from out of my neck, and it was half a bottle of brandy. I said, "No, this is no good, Tom, it's brandy." And he said, "Guess that?" He said, "My guts is queer today." So he took a big swig of this brandy and threw it into a big cornfield. When he died later that stage on the Ventoux, in the autopsy, it was discovered he had amphetamines, but he had spirits, i.e. the stuff I'd given him, and suffered from extreme dehydration. So I sometimes wonder, maybe if I hadn't given him that drink, I don't know.
Greipel devant lui, Cavendish qui remonte en vrai Greipel. Les deux hommes au coude à coude devant. Il y a Marcel Kittel, Cavendish qui tente de passer. Et la victoire pour Marcel Kittel.
100th anniversary, the Jets coming over. But to meet my counterparts, that was the amazing thing. Felice Gimondi, Eddie Merckx, guys I'd raced with 30, 40 years ago. It was just like going back in time. And that was crowned obviously with Chris Froome winning it. So to put all those factors together, it was just a day to remember for a long, long time.
My ambition